You want to check your time? It's did I see that? It's already 11 minutes past 11. How time flies. I just couldn't believe it. This is Whispers 87.7 FM. My name is Uche Nogo. Today, we welcome you to our book chart. This morning, we're talking about one of the most important responsibilities anyone can have, and that is raising children in this world that is changing faster than ever before. So I'd like to begin with the powerful passage from chapter 7 of one of today's feature book, Parenting in the New World. And Laura writes, and I read, she says, change doesn't knock, it crashes through the door like a storm on a summer night, and you either ride with the wave or be drawn into the swell. Well, what a striking way to describe the reality we're living in through change. Change doesn't just wait for us today, so be ready. It comes quickly and it demands that we adopt, and not just adopting. Individuals must adopt, parents must adopt, everyone be ready. As I read the book, Laura, I noticed something. First, let me welcome you, Laura, our dear author. Welcome to the book chart of Whispers 87.7 FM.
Thank you.
Well, enjoy yourself. Relax.
I am.
Okay, so Laura, I noticed her name is Laura Alabi.
Yes.
She is Mrs. Laura Alabi. You get to know more about her. We just don't want everything to be regular. So let's go on. So I noticed something else. This isn't simply a parenting manual. It's actually filled with stories, with vivid images, reflections that draws, the reader in. And you just didn't tell stories about parents and what to do. You also help them feel what parenting looks like in today's world. So tell us about your writing style. Let's start with that first. What was this writing style intentional?
Thank you. Yes, it was intentional. I wanted people to have a feel of who I am before now delving into the world of parenting, which a lot of us, we didn't go into school to find out. You just find out that you are in that business, and you just, by then you just start to cope with it.
Okay, I like your writing style. Very, very, very good. Very intentional. What kind of reading experience do you want parents to have when they pick up this book, Parenting in the New World? What kind of experience?
I want parents to have like an open mind, heart, and know that this is authentic, this is intentional, and it's something they can actually implement, and at the end of the day, if they put it into practice, they will get the same results. Because I will tell you that I was intentional as a parent and I got the result I wanted.
Laura, welcome to Whispers 87.7 FM again. So imagine that you had just 1 minute in an elevator with every parent listening this morning. As I trust that many parents are listening now. What's the message from your book? What will be the one message from your book that you would want them to actually remember?
Presence. Being present is not about closeness, it's not about proximity, it's about being intentional. There are many times that parents are actually in the house with their children, but they are not present. They're more present with their phone, they're scrolling, they're more present in the kitchen. Children are talking to them, they are not even looking, even glancing at that child, and they're just nodding and pretending as if they are there. Being present means your whole soul, body, spirit, you are there with that child, and you are connecting with that child at that moment.
The title of your book is quite fascinating, Parenting in the New World. Why the new world? What has actually changed so dramatically that parents need to rethink how they raise their children?
Yes, I was of the mindset that a lot of times when um, parents are, let me say it from mothers, most mothers feel they have to be in the home, and which is good. And when I came into the country, into Nigeria, a lot of times people will ask me, are you divorced? Are you still with your husband? Are you separated? Because there is this notion that women must be in the house to nurture, to be in front of the children, and it's the man that leaves, well, while you're still parenting. But it was the other way for me, and that's really whispered a lot of things into my head that, okay, have I taken a wrong move? Is it something that people that is not done? And that was where it occurred to me that it's a new world, because a lot of people, I wasn't the only person that had to leave home, and the husband had to stand in, and I was parenting from far away, and it was still possible, very much possible. And I can give you instances.
I'd like to hear some of the instances, and also, I believe that's why you decided to write this book.
Yes.
So give us some instances.
So there are instances where, of course, my children will be having to do their homework. Internet was more than a savior, So I will sit in front of my own phone, tell the child what to do. At a time, I was teaching, so I could be doing the thing in my class, and my son, who is doing his homework, will just be watching me. He will tell me this is what to do. I was able to correct them. When I needed to punish, I will use the internet as well. Tell the child to kneel, do this, and I'll be watching. Stand out was the naughty corner. I was able to do that. Sit down there. And when I mean sit down, the child sits there, and I'll be able to time. And I was able to, go through the process. Is it when I had to attend meetings, PTA meetings, the teacher will be talking to me via the internet, and I'm talking, this is like almost 10 years ago, so it was doable via the internet and everything. I was able to make use of technology.
Wow. Kudos to technology. Now, many parents today live apart from their children because of work, relocation, like you, because of work, or search for better opportunities. Some actually struggle with guilt every day. What would you say to parents who are listening and they feel guilty because they're not able to be present with their families at this time?
I would say that for the most part of it, you shouldn't be guilty. Work has taken you away from home, but you are present with your child. Your spirit connects with them. When they call, you must be ready to attend to their needs. You carry, in fact, I will tell you that I've heard it tons of time when they were still younger, that somebody will tell me that you're actually living in Ireland, but you're present you're physically in Nigeria. That showed you that in the morning, I connect with them. I know what they're taking to school. We are talking in the morning. In the afternoon, when they are back, I'm there. So there is really no room for guilt as far as I'm concerned. I wasn't guilty. And I was not doing that guilty party thing that when you come home, you have to now do like a makeup thing. No, I was always present. And I can tell you, I was fully 100% present with my children. I couldn't have done it better if I was in Ireland with them. The only thing is that maybe I'll be able to give them physical hugs and everything. But every other thing that I was meant to do as a mother, I filled in the place. It wasn't empty.
How do you navigate the space of having social media has all kinds of vices. How did you navigate that space of your worry about them not getting being misled because mommy is not physically at home to say, okay, put this checks on your phone and all of that? How did you navigate that space?
I would say that foundation is important. So, foundationally, we were able to nurture the children in the Christian way. So my children will be the one to tell you, oh, that doesn't, you can't watch this. Mommy said we can't watch this. There are some certain things that children have been fed with, that there are certain channels you cannot watch unless an adult stays with you and everything like that. I'm just even talking about TV on its own, not even social media. And the kind of schools my children also attended in Ireland, they made it, they ingrained it into them not to be on social media. So it was in alignment with what we had taught them at home. And these are children that were also nurtured in the way of the Lord. So they knew God right from a very young age, and they embraced it. It wasn't that we were forcing the word of God on them. They saw it, they wanted to read about it, they were asking questions, they know their right from their wrong. I'm not saying that they are 100% perfect, but I'll say to a large extent they stayed within that terrain, and it helped. And when it comes to boundaries with phones, they know the time. They would submit their phones, they'll put it in a particular place. And remember, my husband was also there. So it wasn't as if, okay, you are the mother and the children were just, my husband was physically there, and the two of us were able to synergize between what we wanted. And to put a cap on what they were watching, I would say that I am blessed, because for the most part of it, when they want to stray, somehow I will get to know, or something will leak it one way or the other, and we'll talk about it.
How do you know? There's something in the air that tells mommy.
All right. If you read in the book, there are times I say that whenever I'm home, I go into their room, and I'm intentional. So I go into the room, check their things, look into anything, and it wasn't as if I'm just prying into their privacy. I was intentional. I would have prayed, God, reveal to me. I had the nudge of the Holy Spirit. If my children, if there are certain things happening, I just know, because I was spiritual about it. I was intentional, and I will know, and then somehow the child will just say it to me, and we'll talk about it. My children are very open with me. Topics that children will run away from, my children will open up to me. And maybe because I'm also an educator, so right from when they were so young, we've been talking about so many things. When they were reaching puberty, I sat them down, at different stages. We'll talk about it. So it wasn't, tell me what it is that my child will not be able to talk with me about. I wonder. I don't know. It's almost impossible.
So foundation is important.
It is the most important thing.
Would you say that parenting has become more difficult now than way back in 20, 30 years ago, or simply different?
I'll say it's different, because then it was more of communal. And now, everybody is in isolation. People, even in Nigeria, you don't know your next door neighbor. They don't even know who you are. So we are all just building, we are all just ostracizing ourselves from each other. But before, everybody nurtures your child for you, your children for you. So that is one significant thing that has happened. I would say the other thing that I would say that is paramount now is that we are bombarded with so much information. And it is best for your child to learn from you. Tell them what they ought to know in good time. Because if you leave it for technology, they will tell you, they will tell them much more that they don't need as at that time. But if you are the first informant, they will be able to sift through. The problem is that a lot of parents feel this child is innocent. And by the way, I didn't say it the other time. I tell my children, I know you are not innocent. And that was one tactic I was using. they will now open up, okay, mommy, this happened, and then it will be my teachable moment to now teach them further on that.
So, how can parents strike a healthy balance?
Is to ensure that you yourself, you to ensure an healthy balance, you yourself, you have to know who you are. You have to you have to be able to be truthful to yourself. How this healthy balance you're saying, is it in terms of what?
In terms of parenting and work. I
Okay.
mean, we're talking about parenting in the new world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, first remove guilt from your from your face. Ensure that you have time, you have quality time with your children. You know that you can't say that you are working 24 hours of the day 24/7. Give time to your children, allocate time for each child. And for me, even when I travel back home, I know the moment I spend with A, the moment I spend with B, so I don't just lump the three of my children together. I spend quality time. Quality time is essential. And apart from that, and that quality time, you are also intentional. You are opening up. You want to know them more. So you can spend 20 hours with a child and everything is just very superficial. And you can spend 1 hour, even 30 minutes, and you are able to reach the depth of that child. So you just be real and rest on the Holy Spirit. For me, we are very spiritual and we call on God to help us.
So, for you, long distance parenting has worked.
It has worked.
How many years have you done this?
Well, this is my 12th year in Nigeria.
Oh, wow. I'm curious, how old would the children be now?
So I have a 26.
Oh, okay.
A 24 and a 21.
Oh, they're adults.
They're
now,
now
aren't they?
adults, yes.
Completely. You don't look it, by the way.
Thank you.
This is the book. All right. Beautiful book. Beautiful. You must grab a copy to read. So let's move a little. I mean, it's all encompassing, really. Beyond being an author, you're into special needs. You're a special needs consultant. Can you tell us about that? How did you get into that journey?
So,
because this is a very special area.
yes. I've always wanted to work in the hours when my children are in school. And of course, the best work to do will be teaching, educating, so that education, so that when the children are in school, you are also in school, and when they are back, you are also back.
Yeah.
And when I was in Ireland, of course, you have to have certain qualification. You have to have the Gaelic language to be able to teach in the mainstream. And I didn't have the Gaelic language, although so I didn't have the Gaelic language. So I was now in the special educational needs department. That was how I started working with children with special needs, and I picked interest from there on. I applied to the school to become like a classroom assistant, but before long, the principal saw potentials in me, and she now said, "Okay, Laura, go into this." And from time to time, she will keep telling me, "Go and study this course, go and do this." And I started upgrading myself, my qualification and everything. And then, before I knew it.
Interesting. Now, many parents don't recognize the developmental delays early. What are some of the signs that people should never ignore, parents should never ignore?
Because special needs is wide, so most of the time when you see that parents are not cognizant of this, is because maybe it's their first child or so. But children go through developmental milestones. So if you notice that your child is not reaching a particular milestone, it is time. It will be in your best interest to voice out, to go to the necessary specialist centers, go to clinics, ask questions. and ask questions from specialists.
Mm.
Don't just keep quiet and feel like, okay, maybe he's just taking his time, because I'm always I always advocate that his teaching time saves 9. Don't overlook anything.
You know that particularly in this part of the world, there is this stigma associated with children with special needs. How can parents begin to change that narrative? Not just parents, schools, communities, even government.
You see, you always have them amongst you, and I'm not saying them. Fingers are not equal, and we have to open our heart, our spirit and soul to the fact that it is not the making of these children to be the way they are, and so we have to embrace it and be empathetic towards the needs of these children. And I will say from the parents, for instance, don't look at it as if it's you are the fault is from you, or it wasn't something you didn't do during pregnancy or anything. And of course, schools, they have to open their doors to children with special needs. I'm of the opinion that all schools should become inclusive setting, such that children with special needs should be accommodated into all schools, because we still find some schools that will close their doors and just make it for the average learners, just for mainstream students.
Did you say that children with special needs can actually go to regular schools?
Oh, yes.
How would they be able, how can they cope? I have seen some children with special needs and they can barely sit. So how do you have such a child in a regular classroom?
So having them means you are practicing inclusion, where their needs will be met. So a specialist teacher could be working with that child, for instance, so that there will not be disruption in the flow of teaching and learning. And all the child will require, maybe a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, should all be provided within that the four walls of the classroom. Yes.
So what has working with children with special needs taught you about parenting in general?
It's interesting. I don't think I can ever do anything apart from working with children with special needs. So a lot of time people quickly jump into patience. It's not patience, it's enjoyment. I see these children and I enjoy. It's fascinating because of the way they think, because of their outlook to life. They are sincere, they are loving. So it makes me my parenting too. I think I was able to, it's either I transferred my parenting skills to children with special needs or vice versa. But I will say that it's you being empathetic. Attitude in everything is key. If your attitude is right, I don't see children with special needs. I'd rather teach children with special needs than children in the mainstream. I've tried it, and I knew that it's a calling for me.
So, which brings me to the next question. This calling, tell us one story that continues to inspire and encourage you.
You mean a story about a child? So there was my first encounter with a child with special needs was many years ago, almost 20 years or more than 2 decades. So I started working with this child. I was actually allocated to work with him, and the parents initially said no, they don't want, and I happened to be the only black teacher in the school. And that, not even just in that school, in more than 5 counties, I happened to be the only black person working with a child. And the parent went to the principal and said no, they do not want Laura to work with a child. And the principal said no, I have allocated her to be the one to work with this child. And that there was nothing they could do. And in Ireland, you can't just move schools anyhow, because You have to have concrete reason why you are moving a child from one catchment area to another. So they were left into my hands to work with the child. After a couple of months, they started seeing changes. A year passed. They now went to the prince because after a year, you are transferred to work with another child with special needs. The same parent that initially objected to me working with their child went back to the principal and said, can they retain me to work with this child? I eventually had to work with this child for almost 3 years, and that's even against the policy, but the parent stood their ground. And so it made me to know that when your heart is pure towards children with special needs, you can do almost anything. This child is grown now, she's 24. Wow. I still see her from time to time when I travel home, and she's independent. She's able to do a whole lot for herself. So it's encouraging.
Wow, such an inspiring story. So let's play a quick game. One word that defines great parenting. So you're going to complete the sentence. Okay, so let's start. A child needs more than expensive gifts. Tick, 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 20 seconds. Okay, I repeat the question. A child needs more than expensive gifts.
Presents.
Absolutely. So, one parenting myth Nigerians should stop believing.
Well,
tick, tick, tick.
Presents. Okay, one parenting myth. Well, should I explain why I said presents again?
Yes, please.
You don't have to be in front of the child to parent.
Okay. So, one chapter every father should read carefully from this beautiful book of yours. This book, what should be one chapter you would advocate for every father? Go pick this up and read Parenting in the New World by Laura Alabi. What would that be? It was Father's Day very recently, so this is a special one. Okay, why do you think about that? Think about it.
I would say every chapter it was intentionally written for both fathers and mother. Maybe fair parenting, guiding siblings rivalry with love.
Okay, what about for the mothers?
I'll say for the mothers is everything.
Okay.
I'll say it's all the chapters are relevant to both fathers and mothers.
Finish this last sentence. The future of every nation begins. What would that be?
Well, good parenting. Did I get it right?
Well, yes, that works. Because a lot of things that happen, it starts from a home. So if you don't parent properly, the people who are doing all kinds of destruction in the country and all around the world, is starting from the home. The parents, I believe, need to look into what their children are doing more. One of the words is the intentionality.
Yes.
Of parenting, right?
Yes.
Yes. So say that again. The future of every nation begins
with intentionality.
Intentionality. So if every parent listening today, remember only one lesson from parenting in the new world. What would you want this lesson to be? Any parent listening, any parent to be, what is that lesson?
I would say you have to be present, and because we are mostly present in front of our phones, in front of our gadgets, be present in the life of these children. Be intentional. I want you to know that your child, they need every second of you when you are there, when you're physically there. And when you are not even there, they still need you. When they call you, be there. Don't manage them. Don't be overwhelmed with parenting. Enjoy the journey. It's a beautiful journey, and I want you to enjoy it.
Where can we get this book?
Okay, we can get it at Roving Heights, that is in Gariki, and any Roving Heights in Abuja, or even in Lagos and in Kano. So Roving Heights Bookshop. We also have it in Glowing Ages Academy, that's in Kaura. Then you can also find it in Lakeland Schools, that is in Gwarimpa. Or you can contact us, on our phone number, Horizon Educational.
Okay, so you need to take that again, how people can connect with you if they'd like to learn more about your work or seek guidance regarding children with special needs, or, you just want to know more. What number can they reach you?
So my number is 07017332275. And that's also my WhatsApp number, so you can reach me on that line.
Can you take the number again?
07017332275.
Laura, thank you so much for joining us today, sharing with us not just your knowledge but also your heart. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Your book reminds us that parenting isn't just about raising children, it's about shaping characters, nurturing purpose, building resilience, and of course preparing the next generation for a rapidly changing world. I'd like to close on a beautiful line from your book, Laura. Children don't just grow older, they grow into the environment we intentionally create for them. Children don't just grow older, they grow into the environment we intentionally create for them. Thank you for joining us. And that's it on our book chart on Whispers 87.7 FM. My name is Uche Nogo. Have an amazing day.
Thank you.